Alright, so this is the final turbo setup. Got the manifold nicely tucked back in here. Plenty of room. I'll have the turbo come in a stock piping location. Massive, plenty of room for a massive air box. The fresh air anti-lag nicely tucked down, so then the intercooler coming from the underside up to the throttle body can just divert easily into there. Wastegate I'll have to plumb into the downpipe, so that'll be next. So here you have it. Here's the finished turbo kit, all welded, mocked up, the assembly. So now it's time to make the downpipe and the wastegate tube. When it comes to turbos and anti-lag and racing, you want to be able to have as many sensors as possible. You want to make sure that you're not overspinning the turbo, you're not overheating the exhaust. So we've got our 4 EGT bungs. You want these all to be roughly an equal length away from the head. Here we have our exhaust manifold pressure sensor, or EMAP. This whole assembly, I tried to make it so it's easy as possible. The whole assembly, minus the downpipe once that's made, all comes out as one, so you don't have to try and sneak a wrench in here or a wrench down here once it's in the car. Literally just all the manifold bolts and the whole assembly will come out. I tried to make, with the exception of that hole, just a straight shot, super easy to get into. I know a lot of EVOs have issues where you can't really get a wrench on it, so I wanted to try and get away from that issue. So it's all the small things to consider when building race car parts, is try and make it as easily maintainable as possible. So we're on to building the downpipe and the wastegate tube. The downpipe I'm trying to keep as far away from the power steering rack and the center differential as possible. And then wastegate, if it's recirculating, you want it to go as far away as possible. Having like a really short tube causes a lot of disturbance, so I'm having it come down and it merges right into the bend, so it should flow really nicely. A tip with using these is you want to have the tubes really nice and relaxed. If you have it at any type of tweak, or it's not perfectly relaxed, it'll fail prematurely. Same with normal flex couplers, but these ones in particular, just because it's this one outer lining. Here we have downpipe and everything all welded, wastegate's integrated. I did forget to put an O2 sensor in. You want it roughly 12 inches away from the exhaust. You never want to put it on the underside, so then if there's any condensation, you don't want it to kill the sensor sooner. Heat management should be fairly easy, and again, you want to keep everything super simple, super easy to get to. As it is a race car, you don't want to have to be crawling all over the place. You just want one central location to undo all the hardware, get everything out, make service a lot easier. So now we'll start building the exhaust. So now we're under the car. We've got our flex coupler. I didn't want to put it in the downpipe just because it's going to be so well protected underneath the skid plate. There's a lot of area, and if it does fail, I'd rather not have it mess with the gas or the exhaust blows that close to everything else. So here's the flex coupler. Here's a vibrant race muffler. It's a pass-through muffler. It's kind of hard to see. So next, we've got this piece of tubing which will hit here, hit here, hit here. It's just kind of overall really tight. I'm trying to keep it up as high as possible. So this is a spare piece of tube that I have. And I'm actually gonna try and make it oval by lowering the lift on it. So we'll see how that goes. A little bit of heat with the car weight. And I've got oval tubing. It's not perfectly oval. Don't even care. You can see with the oval tube, quite a bit more clearance. Clearance all the way up around. And the best part is how high up it's able to sit. So with the whole point of trying to get this exhaust up as high as possible, I'm gonna bring this down to the press, try and press a flatter spot into it just to kind of keep it lower. Hopefully with that much left over, I won't kink the rest of it. Hopefully it'll stay around so then I can make the transition up to the muffler. And just like that, we've got a nice flat spot that'll clear the diff and the rear cradle. Alright, so here you have it. Here's the full exhaust. We've got the flex joint, one pass-through muffler, our homemade oval tubing, our kinked tubing. As you can see, it's got plenty of clearance, V-bands, and then a vibrant ultra quiet muffler. I'll just make it come out of the back side of the fairing or whatever you want to call this. I still have to put a cat per the rules on it, so that'll probably come out to about here. I will make a full rear diffuser, and that'll cover most of this, and then you'll just have the cat come out right here. So there you have it. Now I just need to weld it and the exhaust is done.